Hi, I'm Padmanav. I am from Assam and I have done my BTech in Mechanical Engineering from IIT Guwahati. And in this year, Civil Services Examination of 2015, I have secured a rank of 194 in my first attempt, and my optional subject was mathematics.
In my case, I'll also write down my mark sheet, okay? So, first I'll write mathematics. My marks was 284. Then essay 120, GS 1 84, GS 2 65, 3 79, 4 93. Yeah, and my interview was 182. So if you see my mark sheet, the only two things that gave me this decent rank was these two things, because in the rest of the part my marks were very average. Means it was not a very extremely good marks. So only these two things sailed me through the civil services examination, and therefore sir is rightly saying that if you devote good enough time in mathematics, it will really pay you well. Because to get 284 in other optional subjects like geography or political science, you really need to be extraordinary in that. My background is like I belong to Assam, and I did my graduation from IIT Guwahati in mechanical engineering, and I graduated in 2013. And after my graduation, I got during my final year, I got placed in an MNC, and I worked for around 5 to 6 months. That was 2013. So the second half of 2013, I worked. I was not very satisfied with my job, therefore I left the job. I quit the job. Then I came back home, and then I started thinking like what should be my career option, and finally I decided on civil services. So my decision for civil services was not very, it was not a childhood dream or something. I just thought that this would be the best thing to do for me right now. Therefore I decided, and I came to Delhi in July 2014. In July 2014 I came and I started my GS coaching. Till then I hadn't decided like what will be my optional, and I had many choices in front of me, but still I hadn't decided as yet. Then I started my GS coaching, and after that I'll write the timeline down, okay, so that you can also get a bit idea. Suppose this was July 14, I reached Delhi, I started my GS. Then September 14 I started maths in IMS. This went on for about 6 to 7 months. Okay, so side by side both GS and optional was going on. And after completion, in 2015 I sat for the civil services examination, prelims, mains, and finals was the result. But in maths you don't need to do something extraordinary. If you put good enough work, if you work for 6-7 months, you will get this much marks. And this 60% thing that sir is saying is really true for the optionals. It's 300 marks, right? So mine was 284, and many people have got 300 plus marks. So it will pay you well if you choose mathematics. But definitely the downside is that the syllabus is quite big, and you need to put in a lot of hard work. And sometimes it becomes a bit unmanageable with GS. But if you work hard, the returns will be good. So that was one thing, and the rest is okay. So if anyone other questions, whatever you have, one by one. Mike. Just one second, okay. The people in Hyderabad also, you can ask the questions whenever you want.
So how you prepared with coaching? Like what was your timetable in that way?
Okay.
How you managed this?
Okay, I'll just say my routine, every daily routine. I wake up late, okay, every day. So I wake up at around 9 o'clock. Then from 10 to suppose 1 o'clock, I use this time for newspaper. Okay, newspaper. Then from 2 o'clock to 5 I had my GS class. Then 5 to 8 I had my maths class. Okay, then I went back home and suppose 10 to 2 o'clock I did means my own self study. So this was my kind of routine, and this continued from September till May 2015. And after that the classes were over, and then the entire time was devoted to my self study only. So that was the
How
routine.
were you managing those four
this
hours?
this 10 to
Yes.
2. Okay, how will I manage? Suppose I did not manage my time on a daily basis. I manage my time on a weekly basis. Suppose means you will start your classes, as a particular chapter will start in mathematics. When the chapter starts, the initial 3-4 classes are not very heavy, right? The matter is very less, so you don't have to devote like 4 hours a day for that. So you can do one thing. Suppose tomorrow your classes start, and for the next one week you can skip mathematics in your self study time. In that time you can devote it to GS. Then again, when that GS a bit of a critical mass is over, then you can devote the time to mathematics. Like that you can manage your time. So that was my strategy. And here I would just like to say 2 more points. Like these are like basic funda. Okay, it's just one thing is that the preparation for civil services examination is very personal preparation. It is never, means my strategy and your strategy will never be 100% same, and you should make your routines and make your strategy entirely based on your comfort level. Means whatever way you like to study, what time you like to study. Suppose if you like to study early in the morning, you should make your routine that way. And means entirely your strategy should be entirely on your own. You should never follow anyone blindly. If you think that yes, his strategy is alright, I should change my strategy accordingly, then you do it, but don't blindly follow anyone. And secondly, coaching. There are many people who disapprove of coaching, even in GS or even in anywhere. So my advice is that coaching is means if you are enrolling for coaching, you should use it to the maximum possible extent. It should not be that yes, you have taken up the coaching class and then you come to the class, you are dissatisfied, you keep on means you just keep talking with your friends that यार क्या पढ़ा रहा है, कोई मतलब यूज नहीं हो रहा है, बेकार में ले लिया कोचिंग. It shouldn't be that way. Means if you are paying for the coaching, if you are coming here, if you are taking all the material, make it, it should be utilized in a best possible way. Stop complaining and use it. That should be the strategy according to me. Don't be so cynical. Okay.
So where your preparation was like Bajiram, if you are following only Bajiram, so all the notes from Bajiram only, or you are taking vision also and like following everywhere, or just
No.
one?
For my preparation, I depended only on my only one place. And yeah, I took with that vision thing. I took this thing. So what I did, my GS was from Vajiram, my optional was here. Then mains test series, I had taken a test series with vision. So that much, and maths test series was in IMS itself.
Apart from the class notes, did you refer any standard books for maths optional?
Okay. Yeah. Regarding mathematics, whatever material is provided by the sir, means whatever material the sir will give, the handwritten notes, these are enough.
You didn't refer any.
I didn't refer any single book. I don't have a single book even now. Just
Okay.
these notes are there, and the one thing is that yes, I had only these notes, but I revised them thoroughly n number of times. I repeated them again and again and again. So in the end, just before my mains, it was like I had memorized a lot of it. So that is the way I think you should also do that. That is the way sir also suggests. That is the way our seniors also suggested. Like these notes are enough, and there are a lot of questions in there. There are a lot of previous year questions also. So if you keep doing that, you don't need to means go and search for problems in the book. This is the thing that I told, that if you are coming to the coaching, then utilize it to the best possible way. Means if you are not taking a coaching, then if you go search for books, that's a different thing. Then you should. But if you are coming here, you have the consolidated notes in front of you. You should use it now. And because already the people who have used it, they have just justified to you that these are enough. So you can stick to
And
it.
sir, how did you manage the fixed space for the answer writing in mains exam? for mathematics especially?
Okay, for mathematics,
Because
yeah.
one can make mistakes
Yeah.
also. while-
So I initially did the rough work. I mean, there is space for rough work. I did the rough, then I wrote down the fair copy.
Actually, for prelims, if you see that they are talking about ecology, environment, there is too many things to study. Or so, how you manage those parts?
Okay. The most important part of prelims are like polity, geography, history, okay, and what is economy. These are the basic parts. And then there are a lot of questions from art and culture, environment, diversity, these things. So for these, everybody knows the books, but the problem is with this part. So for this, I referred very limited material. Like for art and culture, I depended almost entirely on my class notes from the coaching, and also a particular kind of material was provided from Vajiram. So I used that. But the thing is that it was not of much help. I almost could not attempt any of the questions from art and culture last year. And in regarding environment also, regarding environment, there are a lot of if you keep following Hindu and Express regularly, you will get a lot many information regarding environment. Okay, and also some basics like there is one book like Shankar IAS. A lot of people followed. I didn't follow it, but I have heard that it is quite good. So you can like this. There was another thing I would like. It's a basic thing which you should follow. Keep your material limited. Okay. Limited material, because people who are preparing for civil services, there is a tendency to read lot many things. Like suppose for polity, people will buy Lakshmikant also, DD Basu also, then again other things I haven't heard of them, I don't know, and again they will read n number of the magazines, and again for something else, suppose for history, they will take up 3-4 another books. So this should not be your strategy. Means at least it was my strategy. My strategy was quality is more important than quantity. So it should be that you have one book. Means take NCERT only. If you don't have much time, stick to NCERT. But the NCERT should be very clear in your mind. Everything should be crystal clear. It shouldn't be that you have read NCERT, you have read 5-6 advanced level books also, but you don't know the basics from any of them. That shouldn't be the case. Quantity is not much important, but quality is very important. If you see mains answer writing also, you will see that answering all the questions is not very important, but answering 16 out of 20 questions, but those should be of very high quality, then you will really get good marks. So during your entire preparation, your strategy should be quality over quantity. Please.
So what is your strategy for mathematics after prelims?
Okay, my strategy was that, as I said, from around May, I completed my GS and math syllabus once in the coaching center. After that, I completed maths once more on my own before prelims. I repeated it. Then after that, prelims was over by August end. From September first week, I started my mains preparation, and from September first week onwards, the test series starts in IMS. So, and the test series is so structured that every Sunday there will be an exam. So, if you want to stick to the routine, you will have to keep on revising according to the routine. And I made it a point to stick to the routine. Means the timings are flexible. You can give the exams anytime you want, but to constrain myself, I stuck to the routine all the time. And means due to this strategy, means I could revise time and again every week. So that was my strategy. My strategy was entirely dependent and synchronizing myself with the test series of the IMS.
So for every, there is hardly 1 week for every exam.
Yes.
For each exam.
Yes.
So how did you revise for each exam?
If you the thing with revision is that with each subsequent revision, the time required for revision comes down. Yeah, the first time you will take a lot of time. Within 1 week, you won't be able to complete. But if you keep on doing that again and again and again, after the 5th revision, maybe you will take very less time. and just before mains, you will revise it in one day, the entire syllabus. So and also this will be further help if you make some like you should have a kind of notes for mathematics also. You can prepare notes, not right now, but when you're preparing for the mains, just before mains, just one month before mains, you can I have a notes like that. You can write down the main formulas, so for every chapter. For example, ordinary differential equation, there are a number of formulas in ordinary differential equation, and you need to memorize those things. So you cannot you cannot think that no, I will solve all the questions in the exam conceptually. You can't stick to that way. This is an exam and you need marks. Therefore, you need to memorize also a lot of things, and this thing will help them. You should make some notes about the important formulas also.
Sir, did you cover entire syllabus for modern algebra?
No, I did not. This was one of my mistakes in during this attempt. Like I did not cover 2 chapters. There are 13 chapters in all, and out of 13, I covered only 11. I left out the statics and dynamics from paper 1 and mechanics and fluid mechanics and fluids from the second paper. So because of that, this year, out of 500, I could attempt only 410. I left 90 marks. And this is another benefit of maths. Like even after I left 90 marks, I was confident about mathematics and I got this much marks, 284. In humanities, if you leave out 100 marks, people leave out that attempt. That is baar to nahi hone wala. But since it was mathematics, therefore even after leaving 100 marks, I was confident about mains. And the thing about syllabus is that if you can do the 100% syllabus, but if you can't, you choose whichever you are bad at. If there are a few chapters, like there's one chapter called modern algebra. It is a really toughest chapter in the entire syllabus, and it's very difficult to understand also. So some people choose to leave it out. It's okay if you leave out one chapter. Yeah.
First of all, congratulations from both of Telugu states, from Andhra and Telangana.
Yeah, thank you.
I would like to ask you one question.
Sure.
After seeing your marks, so my input, what I require from you is that if somebody wants to touch more than 100 plus in RGS, what should be done?
Can you repeat it?
To class GS1, all GS4 subjects,
Yes.
general studies papers,
Yes.
100 plus marks out of 250, what should be done on priority basis?
Okay, 100 plus marks in all of the GS.
All GS.
Okay.
100 plus. But you lack, you missed the opportunity to score 100 plus more.
Okay. I think actually I am not the right person to answer this because I have got 100 minus marks in all the GS. So, but I think what means there should be more practice, answer writing practice, and also you should read more widely, I guess. Means I kept my material very concise. Like for history, for modern history, I only read NCERT, and also for geography, I read only NCERT. I did not consult any other book. So I think to get more marks, you should read more books, read more widely, and more answer writing practice.
I used to manage the Hindu paper, just reading and taking notes also. What was your method of following the Hindu paper?
Can you repeat it?
How was you reading the Hindu paper?
Okay.
Are you taking notes also?
Yes. I did make notes. I followed the Hindu and the Indian Express right from the beginning, and I'm doing it till now. And I prepare notes. I prepare notes on that. You must have heard about Evernote. I prepare notes online on the Evernote, and I keep on updating as soon as I read.
The strategy for prelims, how you follow?
Okay.
Exclusively for prelims to clear. Just
Okay.
To clear.
Exclusively for prelims, whatever I did was till almost about May. I was doing everything like optionals also. Since July, I guess I devoted my time entirely to prelims, and my strategy was that I did the rest of the things normally, and just for prelims, I bought some mock test papers from the different coaching institutions. Like I had already the question papers of from Vajiram, so I bought some question papers from Vision, and started doing all those question papers. So with that you get a lot of questions and a lot of practice. I did the last year's papers also, last 5-6 years papers. That was my strategy, nothing other than that. Someone can ask from here also.
Hello, sir. So math's been objective unlike other optional humanities subjects. Would it be wise enough to assume that the pattern of questions in maths are predictive and repetitive?
Yes. Yes, it is definitely. Means if you suppose give the test series, you'll get at least 2-3 questions ditto same in the question paper of the UPSC mains also. And they are repeated, means that's why sir tells us to do the previous year's question also, because questions are repeated. If you do last 5 or 6 years papers, at least 3-4 questions you will get same to same. So therefore it is even more objective and predictable. Because the thing with maths is that suppose if you compare maths and political science is what? It's a very dynamic subject. It keeps on changing every day. But with maths, there's nothing to change. The syllabus has been static for a very long time. Therefore, if you read extensively, you will cover everything.
Hello. Hello, sir. Sir, I just want to know, because maths level is very vast and GS level is also very vast. So at the time of main examination, both levels very vast. So how did you manage the whole thing? I just want to know means, how do you manage the math as well as the GS? And what is the success mantra? Like, what's your tips so that we can get a good score in mathematics as well as in GS?
Okay. The most important thing is time management. Okay, you'll have to divide your time and you have to prioritize accordingly. So my thing was that I knew my GS was not very excellent level GS, but whatever I did was that I made it a point to complete the entire test series, the mains test series that I had taken, and that led to me covering a lot of GS. Just because because I had taken up the test series, I had to write it well. Therefore, whatever time I had, as I said, like after prelims, that is what I did. There was maths test series, there was vision test series. So I divided my time. Like half of the week I used to do maths, half of the week I means the test timings are flexible. So whatever I did was, suppose this is the week. Every Wednesday I used to give a GS test, and every Sunday I used to give a maths test. So in between this time, I divided my time.
Have you made any one kind of short notes for math as well as GS?
Yes.
So
that's what I said.
Can you help in that so that we also can make
Yes.
same kind of notes?
Yeah, that's what I said. When you prepare maths, you should make a notes regarding those important formulas, or means you should keep in mind that these are the notes that you will read on the day before mains examination. Suppose tomorrow you have mains examination, you cannot open up the entire material. You need something 10-20 pages with you which you will revise. So you should make those notes keeping your examination in mind. You should be mentally prepared that if tomorrow is my exam, this is what I will read and nothing else.
Excuse me. Were your marks in pre, mains and optional test series reflective of your actual performance?
I gave the test series for prelims only in Vajiram, and Vajiram's prelims test series is extremely tough, and therefore the marks were nowhere in comparison. My marks were very bad in the prelims examination in the mocks here. And regarding prelims, like I was very lucky in prelims this time because the general cutoff was 107 and my marks was 108. So I just crossed the cutoff marks. So prelims is like there's a lot of luck in prelims, okay, because if I had made one mistake, I would have been out of the race at that time itself. Therefore there's a bit of luck also, but there are many others even in IMS itself who have got 130, 140 marks also in prelims. So you should try to get as much marks as possible, because if you perform very well in prelims, you get the confidence, right? You don't have to worry that whether I'll cross the prelims or not. And if you're confident right after prelims, you can start your preparation for the mains, and that is very much useful. If you can start your preparation right from August, then right after you take 3-4 days break, and then you can start, and it's very good. Otherwise, if you keep waiting for the prelims result, very less time is left in the end.
And what about mains and optional test series?
Optional test series was good. Means it was almost okay. Means similar level. But in the mains test series also, yeah, it was almost same.
Yeah, hello. One question is that, like, in your case, you have been worked for 6 months. Like, we have been worked for two or more than 2 years. Like, and we don't have much touch over the mathematics. So, what are the prerequisites to attend the maths class here?
Okay. Are you from? Means what is your background?
It's from
BTech.
engineering. Yeah.
Then you will be able to do it. Like means there is no back. Means I also worked for 6 months, but it doesn't means we know how we spend our BTech life. Nobody like engages in a lot of mathematics during BTech. We just study during our semester exams. We just cross it. That is the way of BTech life. So it is not that you are very well versed in mathematics during your BTech. So if you come here, you were in BTech means you have a mathematics background. You have that aptitude for mathematics. So if you work hard, you will be able to. And the things in all the chapters, when you start reading it, you will get to know that the chapters start from your class 12 mathematics. Suppose we have calculus in paper 1. In calculus, you will start from limits and derivatives and this basic funda you had learned in class 11 and 12. So there is nothing. You can if you have done BTech, you can be rest assured.
And one more thing, like as you are a mechanical engineer and you have been skipped the fluid dynamics and mechanics part.
Yes.
How for the other? How about the
Yeah,
other?
that is actually nothing related to my background or something. As I said, means I was mechanical engineering, no doubt, but I didn't remember much of mechanics or fluid dynamics. And means during the course of my class here, I didn't do mechanics and fluid dynamics. Therefore, I skipped those part, and there was not much time for me. Because as I said, after prelims, I had to start it from the scratch mechanics. So I just skipped it out.
And one more thing, like should we concentrate more upon the conceptual part, or else should we concentrate more upon
In
the
maths?
application? Yeah, in more.
You should be always focused on application. Because yeah, concepts are needed to understand the problem that much. Whichever concepts you need, that is okay. But you should always remember that you are not here to do some research or something. You should only go as deep as it is needed. Okay, you don't have to keep on delving on a problem of mathematics. You don't have to think like, don't go too deep. If you have got the answer, enough. Means if you have to memorize also 1 or 2 steps, it's okay. You need marks in this examination.
Why there is a large difference in scoring the maths optional, where there is a very huge difference in the person who has been scoring high and very low?
Okay.
What was the reason actually? Like, what in case the way of writing, is it at one of the point, or
Maybe I don't know and surely about this, but maybe they focus more on the answer. Like they don't give partial step marking. They may be giving very less step marking.
getting an answer is not a big deal, right? Everyone can get an answer, but
Yeah.
how the approach of getting an answer differs from person to person. Is that the matters in this case? I am asking.
I'm not very sure of it because I think if you can decently show your answer, then yeah, I think people get marks. It's not like that.
Good evening, sir. Congratulations for the result. Am I audible?
Yeah. Right.
Acha, other than the preparation point of view, as your score suggests, 182 an interview. So I wanted to ask, personality something is it required or what? And scoring 182 and 275 is really good, and that is what sailed you through. You also said that. So, as in, I am not asking some tips as such for personality development, but there must have been something जो interview में you thought कि this worked for me, or maybe.
Okay.
So, as in, the overall मतलब ठीक है preparation point of view से तो standard books, the mentality या जो भी है hobbies, so something if you could guide on those lines.
Regarding interview, like whatever you said, you cannot express properly these things. But whatever helped me was that I gave some mock interviews also before my preparation, and I think personally I devoted a lot of time for interview preparation because after my mains, December towards the last week, mains was over. I took a vacation of 1 month in January, and in February I came back to Delhi. And from February, I again started updating myself because I had taken a long vacation. Then after that, the results came out on 19 February, I guess. Then I was selected, and then from then on, entirely I devoted my time to interview. And you means during interview, I think you need to do a lot of like, it helped for me. I did a lot of self introspection. Like, you need to think what are your weaknesses, and you need to accept your weaknesses. And the most important thing in an interview is that you should never bluff, because the people sitting in front of you are really very experienced people, and if you bluff in front of them, it gives off a very bad impression. And your career or your academic record does not matter in an interview. They like to see how you are as a person, how honest you are, how genuine you are. If you are answering something, if they are answering something which is related to, suppose, poverty or development, they want to see how actually concerned you are about development. If you try to fake it there, they will be able to catch it very easily. And that's what actually happens in real life also. If you're talking to someone, if you are fake, you can notice it, right? So you'll have to be genuine, you'll have to be a bit honest. And this thing, like the personality development, I think it is a process. Like, if you are starting now, if you're starting your entire preparation for civil services right now, you should keep on thinking about this personality development once in a while. Don't need to dedicatedly do something for interview. Just try to change your personality. Like, if you read something in everybody reads Hindu, Indian Express, these things, and there are sometimes very good articles, and very well renowned people keep on writing things there. So while reading this, you should try to change yourself. You should really have that orientation, like public service orientation. Yeah, some people just fake it out, but you should really try to change yourself, and that will reflect on you when you go for an interview. So it is a process. It is not like within 1 month you can change your personality. It's a process. You will have to keep working on it right from the start.
So hello. Can you please share some strategy on essay?
Essay. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, essay is one of the most important things, and as sir said, it's a very scoring thing. Regarding essay, actually I didn't have much time to like take up a class or do something. So whatever I did was that when I started my mains preparation and test series were going on, in the month of November, just a month before mains, I took up another test series for essay also. Like, it was a module of 3 tests. So whatever I did was that the first test that I gave, it was a very low quality essay, and so I got a lot of feedback. I went and talked at my coaching. I had taken it up in Vision, so I went and talked to the faculty. Then they told me that these are the problems. You should work on this. Then I gradually started working up bit by bit. So that is the strategy I think you should also take, like, because this essay is also a very personal thing. There is no one standard format for an essay. The essay means you should express your own viewpoints, and you should justify that very well. Just what you need to know is that how to present it properly. So for that, practice is needed, and if you can, you should practice early on, like even before means if you start practicing 1 essay a week, that is also a lot. Okay, you can do one thing, like it's dependent on you. Like what you can do is that, suppose if you completed 8 units, then you should keep solving questions from those 8 units, and side by side, if you get time, focus on the other units also, and whichever are the smaller units, you should focus on that. Then regarding GS also, I think if you have a dearth of time, you can take up a test series also if you want. With test series, revision takes place very quickly. Means rather than taking your book and sitting down in your room, if you keep writing answers, the revision is much better. So you can take up that strategy. You can take up a test series, I think.
Thank you, sir. And one more question is, you are an aspirant of 2015
Yes.
IAS.
Yes.
So you started July 2014 and you get cleared marks till you got interview call.
Yes.
So during that preparation, you might have attended many toppers interviews and you might have listened many toppers talk. So how did you feel this IAS exam? Whether I was able to complete this exam, or you might have many times disheartened and dissatisfied. So could you please share your thoughts so that we can compare ourselves with yourself?
Okay. Yeah, this is a problem. Like, it's really a tough exam. That is no doubt about it. Okay, it is the toughest exam in the country, and many a times it is so vast and so especially when you are in a coaching center. Suppose if you come to Rajendra Nagar, you see thousands of students just like you preparing for the same thing. So you get disheartened sometimes. So whatever I did was that to console myself, or just to keep my self confidence, I just followed this thing, like जो बोलते हैं ना कि just focus on the result, means don't focus on the result at all. Just keep, like if you are, suppose you people are starting a class here, you are starting the classroom program, you should keep focusing on the class itself. Don't think like ये class करेंगे तो whether we'll get good marks or not, how will be our performance. Just focus on the present thing. Like you have set your goal as the civil services examination, and now you know what is the way to that goal. Now focus on the way, don't focus on the goal right now. So that in that way you won't get disheartened, I think. That was my strategy. I just kept focusing on the present thing and not on the future. Yeah, there is a lot of uncertainty in this exam, but if you just keep focusing on the present thing, you will get a bit less disheartened.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, sir. In 2017, exam will be June 18, so there is no that much of time for separate preparation or prelims. So again, manage both prelims and this mains. The coaching will complete only in mains, May only, na. So there is no that much time for preparation prelims, na. So how can it manage and what is strategy?
Okay. In mathematics, you can complete it before, because there is a lot of flexibility. In GS also, like if you are in any coaching center, seeing the routine, they will manage it in some way, I guess. But even if you don't, even if it completes in May, you should start your dedicated preparation for prelims 2 months before June itself. Then you should start it from April then, because mains will also be earlier, right? It is not that mains will be in December, mains will be in October, I guess, if the prelims is in June. So the gaps are the same. It is nothing different.
And about ethics,
Ethics.
books are like.
Okay, for ethics, I was dependent on the classroom notes itself. I did not study any books. And if you can study, you should, I guess, because ethics is a very scoring paper, and people have got 120, 130 marks also in ethics. So if you can study some book, I haven't studied any book, therefore I cannot suggest any book to you. But I depended on my classroom notes and my test series.
So which book you referred for economic and polity, and GS1 and GS2, GS3?
Okay. GS1, I'll just write them down. Suppose for modern India, I did the NCRT, the old NCRT 12, Bipin Chandra NCRT. For geography, for prelims and mains both, I read only the NCRTs 11 and 12. 4 NCRTs are there, and I think that is enough. It's quite exhaustive. Then for polity, I read classroom notes and DD Basu, just that one. Then for economics, again classroom notes and no book as such. Economic survey is there. So means you can see, like, my strategy was very much this in all the things. I kept my material limited. I had very few books. Even now in my room, I have only this much books for GS, and there are some classroom notes. And my strategy was again this, to utilize the coaching to the maximum possible extent. Like, you are paying a lot of money for the coaching, you are coming here daily, then make the maximum use out of it. You shouldn't come to the coaching and then keep on pointing out the negative things. Yeah, there are a lot of negatives in everywhere. Here also, there also, everywhere you will get some negative points. But focus on the positives and get the best out of it.
गुड इवनिंग सर. अगर आपको इंटरव्यू के बारे में कुछ मतलब याद होगा फॉर रिलेटेड विद ऑप्शनल मैथमेटिक्स,
ओके
शेयर कर सकते हैं?
ओके, हाँ, मतलब मैथमेटिक्स से रिलेटेड काफ़ी कुछ तो पूछा था. मैथमेटिक्स में काफ़ी बेसिक्स ही पूछे थे. फॉर एग्जांपल, देयर वाज वन क्वेश्चन, द चेयरमैन ऑफ द बोर्ड हैड आस्क्ड मी, like in mathematics we have, like, there are 3 means, right? Arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean. The chairman asked me, what is the need for these 3 means? Why can't we have just one mean? Why do you need geometric mean or harmonic mean? And I honestly didn't know why it is needed. I said, I don't know, sir. So even now I don't know why do we have 3 means. Then again there was again and during that time when my interview was on 31st of March, and in March, and you should be also on the lookout, like when you read the newspapers, if there is anything related to mathematics. For example, in March there was this thing, some kind of prize, Wiley prize or something. It was given by UK something, and the prize was given to a mathematician for solving a problem which was considered the toughest mathematical problem of all times or something like that, and that was there in the news. So I had noted it down because I thought, yeah, this is some mathematics का क्या आता है पेपर में, कभी कुछ नहीं आता है, साल में 2 चीज आएगा, मतलब 1 या 2 चीज. So you should write it down, like before, and they had asked me about that name of the theorem was Fermat's last theorem. Okay, so they asked me what is the Fermat's last theorem. I had एकदम रट के गया था मैं, so I just told them, then they were very impressed about that. Then again there was like last year there's this guy, this famous scientist like John Nash. He died last year. So that was another very important topic. So 1-2 चीजें ही आएंगे पेपर में मैथ्स के रिलेटेड, you should note them down thoroughly. They will ask definitely if they see mathematics.
Hi sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
This is regarding mathematics optional. After the classroom is over, before prelims, how to revise and what is the strategy to follow? How to, what to do during this time? Should we do previous papers? Can you tell me?
Means if you have time, I had a bit of a time, so about 2 months I had with me. So what I did was that I took up the material and I solved the entire thing from top to bottom, all the problems. Means once I had done all the problems in when the class was going on, and again when the classes ended, I did again all the problems. And during that time, what another thing I did was that I highlighted those problems which were very tough or which I could not do it from my own, so that when I revised again, I focused on only those highlighted problems, not the entire thing. So that you can do, like once after you complete your classroom, you can do the entire thing once and just highlight the tough problems, and then on the subsequent revisions you just focus on the highlighted ones.
So good evening sir. Sir, actually can you please explain in detail sir how to make notes, whether they should be online or offline, and let's say if they are online, then you whole article or you just type the thing manually?
Like online, offline is entirely your choice, however you like it. I personally prefer online because it is very easy for editing then. Because if you write down in a paper, if you want to change something, because these things keep on changing. So if you have to change, then again you have to write the entire thing. That's why I prefer online. And then how you should write down the notes is that you should never write the entire article. That is obviously impossible to write down the entire article, and also whatever you write in the notes should be in your own language to the maximum extent possible. Suppose if you read an editorial in Hindu, then you should take out what is the basic thing that the person is trying to say and then write it down in your own words. This is a very, very crucial thing, and is a very this requires a lot of extreme amount of patience. Because initially first when you start reading, like my English was not very good at that time when I started, so I didn't even understand properly those editorials, so it took a lot of time, and to then consolidate and write it down in my own words also took a lot of time. I remember when I had started reading Hindu, it took me about 5 or 6 hours, one paper. So but I still kept on doing that same thing, and ultimately gradually the time came down. Now I can just read an article and say I can write it. But that requires patience, but you should keep doing it. And how I have my notes is that in Evernote, like it is divided. For example, I have one notebook on economy, one on polity, one on geography, one on suppose governance, like that. And within economies there are a lot of headings: fiscal policy, monetary policy, like international markets. I have like that. So that way you should break it down. So that whenever you suppose you get an article, you should first decide which category does it fall into, and you should add this thing to that category. So the entire thing should be spread out.
Hi sir.
Sir,
My,
may I? Hello.
my question is that is there any difference means in especially these papers essay, GS1 and Reasoning? Because some people have good vocabulary, good English, while others don't have. So is there any difference in marking? Because someone write
Depending on vocabulary.
not depending on vocabulary, because some people write in easy language and other write in tough English. So is there any difference in marking?
Okay, means depending upon the English na quality. No, there is no. I don't think there is any difference. If you can write it in simple English, it's better, because you don't know the level of English that the examiner knows. What if the examiner doesn't know so many high standard words? Then he will get frustrated with your paper, right? So it's the best. It's the safest thing to write in simple English.
Sir,
What is the plan for reading the Hindu newspaper? Some people read the whole newspaper or some reading the selected pages.
Okay, my strategy means this thing again. I won't say that you will have to follow my strategy, but my strategy was that I went through all the pages. I did not skip some pages just seeing that it is a local news, so I'll skip it. Not like that. I used to see all the pages. I used to see the headlines and then kept on skipping, because sometimes even in the local pages, one or two important news keeps coming up. So read, don't go through all the articles. See the headlines, and you will be able to judge by yourself.
You did this for both the papers, Express plus Hindu?
Initially I did for both, but over the course of time it became too much for me. Then for Express I focused, I came down to those main 3 pages, those editorials and that explained one.
sir, did you make notes of every article you read, or only those which were important?
See, if you are starting right now, initially you will have to keep writing for all the articles, because everything will be new. But down the line, after 2 months, suppose things will get repeated. Means you would have written something about something. Suppose an issue going on right now, NSG. About NSG, in the last 1 month, a lot of articles came in. So suppose after 2 months down the line, again something about NSG comes up, these things will get repeated. You don't have to write that thing again. Then most probably you will have to write, you will just have to add 1 or 2 lines later. So and most of the times it will be like, oh, मतलब इतना सब कुछ तो लिखा ही था. It was just a revision. ऐसा ही
Sir,
होता.
and did you include anything else except from the formulas in the maths notes?
Formulas and 1 or 2, like there were some questions which were which had to be done in only one particular way. Matlab, I kind of memorized those things, that method. So those also I wrote it down to the extent possible.
Hello, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So for GS, you studied all the NCRTs from 6 to 12 or only 11 and 12?
Just what I said. For history, modern India, only one NCRT, that 12 old NCRT. For geography, I studied 11 and 12, and that much. These were the
No need
NCRTs.
to study from 6 to 10 means because the most of the contents are repeated.
Yes, that's why I didn't. If you are satisfied with 2-3 NCRTs, you should keep it to a minimum.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, anyone else? You can ask anything.
Hello, sir. I want to ask about the handwriting. Actually, my handwriting is not that good. So that's a big matter of concern or not?
No, but it should be. If your my handwriting is also okay, but not too good. If your handwriting is really bad, you should keep you should keep it in mind to keep the paper neat and clean. Means you should use a lot of spacing in between so that it looks neat. Means if your handwriting is not very beautiful, then at least don't write it down very close to each other so that it looks dirtier. Means it should be very easy for the examiner to check your paper.
And writing essays, vocabulary should be very high level or...
No, not at all, not at all. That's what I said. Means examiner also depends, right?
Sir, how to make notes and keywords? Like everyone forces to not to write whole sentence, just write the keyword. What is that keyword?
What is that keyword means? In every thing you will always find some keywords, right? Like just now I just said NSG. So NSG may some of the keywords will be like nuclear proliferation, suppose. Yeah, means there will some keywords will come up which are the main. The entire issue will devolve around that. I can't directly tell what will be the keyword now, and you don't focus on that so much. If you're understanding, suppose you read an article, you thought, yeah, this is the main issue that has been pointed out. Write down the entire sentence. Don't.
Sir, I'm right now a college student, so while reading newspaper, I don't get whether it is an economy article
Okay.
or polity, or how should I categorize. You told me to write notes, and I'm not making notes right now, but I want to.
Okay.
So that I can my time of reading newspaper by the time I'll appear for the
Okay. So, means how when I started, this structure that I told you, na, economy, polity. When I started with one note. I wrote down everything in one note. But gradually, as I kept making notes over, suppose 4 or 5 months, this became too long. This became too lengthy for me. I was not able to manage it. Then I started revising, means just scrutinizing it again. Similar kind of topic, I started clubbing them together. Again, clubbing them together. Then over a course of time, I realized, over a course of time, my even GS class was going on. So my basics were going on. So then I realized this is related to economy. Oh, this is related to. So what you should do is that don't focus on economy or polity right now. You're getting an article. You think this is the important thing. Write it down. It doesn't matter whether it is economy or polity or geography or whatever. Just write it down. Later on, you will realize it yourself. What is it?